Retake, a show all about Rainbow Six Siege. I'm Lisa Dewan here with Parker Mackay, and I'm gonna speak for both of us. We're super excited to be outside, taking Retake outside for the first time. You feeling it? You feeling the wind, Parker?
I feel the wind. It's nice. It's great to actually be outdoors in the summer and not just locked inside.
That's right. That is right. Though, you know what? With the new mode that came out, new protocol, I feel like some people are okay being stuck inside. Did you get a chance to play it at all?
I have been spending some time inside playing it, yes. I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's new. It's something like we've never seen before. A lot of people don't think it feels like Rainbow Six, but I tweeted out last week that I like goofy game modes like that.
I saw that too.
You know, Rainbow is magic. You got furry skins. Now you got the robot skins. I think it's great. More of that, please.
More robot furry skins. That's what Parker wants.
That is not what I said.
That is actually what I said. Please remind. Yep. We're not going to go into that one though. What we are going to go into, we have a segment called Archives, and in this one we're going to throw it back and take a look at how ENCE improved and affected the R6 scene.
As a member of the Nordic Championships, Finland is no stranger to Rainbow Six Siege. The country is home to several top talents and teams, including the now disbanded ENCE Esports squad. One of the most feared teams at one point, the Finnish org slowly slid from the spotlight. Here's the story of ENCE Esports and their Rainbow Six roster. ENCE joined the Rainbow Six scene by signing the fully Finnish Sisu squad. Yes, Sisu, not Gifu, Gifu, or Jifu, depending on how you pronounce it. The original Sisu roster consisted of several names fans old and new will recognize. Boonsi, Wilkie, Panari, Shate, and Kanto were the original ENCE members. Sisu had been one of the top European squads in 2016, always dominant online, but never able to seal the deal off. The unsigned team had just pulled off third at SI 2017, second place in the fourth season of EU Pro League, but bombed out against Black Dragons at the Year 2 Season 1 finals. The Finns would win their first Pro League season under the new org, but would again fail at the Season 5 finals. The team instantly bounced back for Season 6 of Pro League. They became one of the greatest European rosters of all time, losing only 6 rounds across 6 maps to reach the season finals. Unfortunately, the nearly flawless ENCE crumbled against ENCE Esports, losing more rounds in the final series than they had all season. Still, ENCE had qualified for the seasonal LAN finals, so they quickly set their eyes on the prize in Sao Paulo, Brazil. An incredibly close series against evil geniuses and a one-sided stomp of Team Font gave ENCE a shot at their first major LAN win. But they'd have to go through Brazil's best, Black Dragons, in order to do it. Black Dragons was by far the best team in Latin America, and they were playing with home field advantage too. With a history of offline chokes on their shoulders, ENCE handed the Dragons their first map loss of the event. But the Dragons turned things around to start Chalet, going up 4-0 and almost shutting out ENCE on map 2. Slowly but surely, ENCE found their footing and clawed their way back to claim the championship, round by round. Unfortunately for ENCE, that would be their last hurrah as a team before things began to slide. ENCE decayed after Brazil, with Shate, Panari, Kanto all moving on and ENCE being relegated to Challenger League the season after winning it all. ENCE would eventually return to Pro League and have a few flashes of their old selves, but would never reach the top again. After that, the team was acquired by Mouse Sports in 2019, and ENCE left the Rainbow Six scene behind. While they'll mostly be remembered for their LAN run in Sao Paulo, the ENCE alumni list is extensive. ENCE became a Finnish farm team for Penta and G2, eventually losing Shate, Kanto, Uno, and their analyst Sua in the process. Sonics fans will certainly recognize Gomfi and Sleben. The pair originally linked up on ENCE in late 2018 at the team's last LAN event. As for the other founding members, Boonsi continues the Sisu legacy in the Nordic National League. Meanwhile, Wilkie, well, he's ENCE's general manager. Panari, unfortunately, seems to have moved on from Rainbow Six. ENCE's reign in R6 was short, but boy was it fun while it lasted. And while things weren't always easy for ENCE, Europe just wouldn't be the same without them.
With stage 1 done, what better time than to look back and give credit where credit's due. So focusing on North America, this is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna give a category, and Intero, you're gonna have to pick who you think would win in that category. Are you ready?
I think so.
It sounds very complicated, and of course, we want you guys to play along too, so definitely let us know who you think would win these categories via our socials at WatchRetake. All right, let's get started. So the first category, we have the Clutch Master. Ooh, who do you think wins the award for the best Clutch Master in North America?
I think this is an easy one.
Is it?
It's Bosco from Space Station. The man's 1vx statistics are exceptional. He's good in the clutch, as the name would suggest.
So do you think being in that kind of situation where you have to go like 1v, how many players, do you think it's something you can actually practice?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think it's something that teams dedicate a lot of time to in scrims. I think it's just you play off of your team's ability to communicate well, your own personal abilities, and how good your decision making is in that particular moment, because things are happening so fast.
Yeah.
Even with good comms, the information you're getting by the time it leaves your teammates' lips is likely wrong. So you just gotta be good with the flow of the match and go from there.
But congrats to Bosco. Here is your award.
Don't the people vote? Do I just get to decide all these things? Like, I don't.
Just like the Oscars.
Moonlight, Best Picture.
So this one is about roster swaps. Which roster swap of stage 1 do you think worked out the best for a team?
Okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't go with stage 1 roster swap, but I think the best roster swap that we've seen so far was Dark Zero offloading Nyx to the old Reciprocity team, which is now Oxygen, and bringing in Skies. I think that was probably the best move that could have been made. Nyx, I think, was able to grow somewhat on that Reciprocity squad. Now he's doing, a much greater leadership role on Disrupt. But I think Skies has been a really strong contributor to DZ. I think there's been obviously some issues with DZ not performing up to their own expectations, but I don't think Skies is one of the problems, and I think he's really flourished in that capacity. And I think he's become much less of a one-dimensional player, if you want to say, and he's matured as a person, and I think it was really a really strong move for Dark Zero.
Just talking about Dark Zero, I feel like there's been people saying they're kind of disappointed, with how the team did. They maybe expected more from them. Do you feel like the potential is more, or is this just a natural, like they're a new team, new members, they're just getting their, cohesion together? What's the potential for this team?
I honestly don't know what I diagnose as being the problem for Dark Zero. They have a lot of really good parts, but it seems like they're not great at adapting mid-round. And that obviously is a major problem against teams that are extraordinarily good at adapting mid-round, like TSM, like Oxygen, like Space Station, and I think that's a big issue.
All right, let's talk about rookies. Which rookie impressed you the most this stage?
Probably one of the easiest answers. It's NJR. I don't think anybody else is gonna win that one. It should be unanimous. It's unanimous, by the way. There's no other answer. I know that the SQ guys are gonna say iconic, but no, it's NJR steps onto a Disrupt squad that everybody thought DG was gonna be awful. It was referred to as the Island of Misfit Toys on the official broadcast, which I think at the time was a very fair thing to say, but NJR shows up, he plays out of his mind against a couple world-class teams, he keeps DG in a couple matches that they had no business being in. The man is the rookie of the season, of the stage, maybe even the year, but he just shows up big and he gets it. Nobody else, no one.
I know our editors like to do funny stuff with our hands, so we should just give them, maybe not like that. Okay. Which team or I guess player do you think was the biggest surprise of the stage? I guess this can be taken positively or negatively, depending on how you want to interpret it.
The Sonics surprised me a lot as a team. Not that I thought they'd be a bad squad, but the fact they were able to go toe-to-toe as much as they were with Dark Zero and almost get that major spot was a real surprise. And, I think they might actually be able to get it if they have Gomfi and Sleben from the very start. In terms of what players surprised me, I'm going to say that there really isn't a clear answer as to who has stood out. There have been a couple people who've done really well. Chala, I guess, would probably be the answer on TSM. He hasn't been in any professional play for quite a while. He was toiling down in Challenger League. He steps onto the TSM roster in a role that isn't necessarily the most comfortable on a team that he doesn't know all that well, and the man is doing exceedingly well against strong opponents.
Those are all really serious ones, and to wrap it up, we have a category for best memer, and no, you cannot win this one, Intero. So who do you think? Well,
I'm a serious guy.
Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and I saw him deploy after he...
I'm not the one making erratic and suggestive.
You're the one with the erotic mind.
I didn't, it said erratic, not erotic.
Now I want to give it to you. Don't wiggle your eyebrows. They don't need that. So who do you think was the best memer from stage 1? And this could be anyone. I think it's fair game for anyone.
I think the easiest answer is probably Suzaku, especially in North America. I want to give some honorable mentions to R6 Dick, who's relatively new. Great name. By the way, I believe it's short for Richard. We're going to go with that one.
Sure.
And then the Dark Zero squad has also been doing, I think, a lot better on social media recently. So those would be my 3 picks. But I mean, if you're looking at gold standard in North America, it's Suzaku, 100%. Always has been.
Yep, I could see that though. I have to also give a shout out to the Oxygen team because I feel like their Twitter's pretty dank. And I mean, the individual members put some pretty dank things out there.
They just tweet about shoes and steaks
No,
and women and
they
cars.
spit and stuff now. You haven't seen the video?
I've seen the thirst traps.
That's what I'm talking about.
I wish I hadn't, but I have.
That's what you're literally saying what everyone's probably thinking, but you know what? Shout outs to them, breaking the boundaries.
The internet was a mistake.
Yeah.
The internet was a mistake.
All right, congrats everyone who was chosen by Intero. Here are the awards. Take them all, frame them. I don't know why you're framing a statue, but you get the point.
Why are you throwing the awards?
I don't know. Editors, make this make sense, okay? Okay, you guys let us know who your picks are on our socials at WatchRetake.
Blast off with the best plays from one of North America's beloved teams. With Space Station Gaming winning the first stage of the US division, we're looking at some of their best plays so far. We had to start off with one of the best clutches of stage 1, straight from Bosco. Thrown in a 1v3, the Bosco pulled off the impossible against E United.
By call out, that's a beautiful shot from the Habana above. Full coverage, able to patrol the openings that have been created, and this will essentially pin down the remaining members of Space Station. Things could get really tricky, but if you take a look, Rampy and Bosco are well off site here. The only one to be able to hold off is Fultz, and he's going to get knocked around by an air jab, then blinded, but very shrewdly he activates his ability. Warden able to see through all of this, and the calamity that's going on above him won't be too much, but oh my, there are springs in E United. Bosco in a 1v3. He'll find one, but he's stopped by a castle barricade, soft wall to his left. If he needs to, he can play off of these pings. But very smartly, United have moved over towards the bathroom. They'll get the diffuser down. Tracers through the wall as Bosco will just shrug off the play. He's got a castle barricade that's keeping him from being able to head on in. And because he chose that bulletproof, he can't break down that barricade with ease. He'll know that he's coming from a mile away. This should be a very easy hold for E United, despite Grixer's low HP. They'll continue to fire away. Bosco with one shot. He just needs to know where callout is in a heads-up gunfight. These two gentlemen will be fighting for supremacy. Will Space Station take the lead? Bosco peeks around the corner. No, my goodness! How does he make that work?
Does he know?
But he's going to have to find the diffuser. He's got 7 seconds to do it. He'll get on it. He'll have plenty of time. Good Lord, Space Station. And Bosco, well, he'll do it yet again.
Bosco, amazing clutch there, and you just don't think it's possible. You correctly point...
Fultz has been a workhorse for SSG all season long. Up against Dark Zero, Fultz made magic happen in the dying seconds of the round.
Stacked up they are. That offers them a lot of refrag potential. The peak by 90 will net 2 big kills, though, for Hyper as he gets aggressive. Pistol out on the breach. He's worried about a push from SSG, but there's no refrag. We'll even us out onto a 3-on-3, and with only 15 seconds left, this should be DZ's round to take. Stuns going in through the breach, though. This is a big position for SSG to have control of, but they don't have the manpower necessary thanks to Hyper's heroics. Eclipse will get Bosco, who was on the flank. Plant going down, but there should be some form of denial just in a matter of time. But 2 big kills for Fultz, and he should be able to cover the plant as well, and he does it! Fultz with his own triple!
This next clip really puts the thinking in Thinking Nade. If you're looking for a 200 IQ Nitro cell setup, then Thinking Nade's got exactly what you need.
Ooh, is this actually... Wait, hang on. Is this gonna... There's no way that'll go through, right?
Oh,
Oh.
try again.
Come on. Let's see.
One more time.
That's clearly a planned C4, right? So he must know a way to do that.
I wanted to see it.
Me too.
It brings me back to the old Oregon where it was Mav, I think from FaZe, who dropped it down 2 floors from up an attic. That was an impressive one.
Okay,
he's definitely trying to line it up. There you go. Oh, wait for it to get dropped down. You'll love to see this. And there's 2 members of DG that are there, primed and ready. Can you give a call? There's Nyx. Down it goes.
Oh!
Boom!
I can't believe
Say
that
goodbye
worked.
to Nyx. Perfectly lined up.
It wouldn't be the best of SSG without the legend that is Rampy. Pushing Dirt Tunnel on Clubhouse can be a death sentence for attackers, especially against the Clash. But don't expect a shock shield to slow down Rampy too much as he barrels through
We
United.
have a trail of goo mines leading through the dirt tunnel, which is where Rampy is going in. He's being escorted or led in by Canadian's drone, and then the Thermite might be quick to follow, but we know what happens if too many teams find themselves buried inside of dirt tunnel. It doesn't really go well. They don't get out at all, despite the fact that I think it's called escape tunnel. Escaping is the last thing that they're going to be doing, especially not alive. So the Clash is now posted on up. L85 in the hands of Rampy, trying to deal some damage, and not exactly the best Clash play. A double kill from Rampy. He takes full control. 10 seconds left, and Forrest is fighting for his life inside of the church. But on a hope and a prayer, well, that's all he's able to do. Space Station's going to take round number 3.
You didn't think that we'd forget about Canadian, did you? While it's not the flashiest play, this 3K from Canadian was critical in overtime against Oxygen. Looking to make up a 2-man difference, Canadian snuck up and crushed OXG's attack.
The previous 12 rounds, Oxygen's all the way down inside a Sunrise Bar. I don't know if they've droned out Canadian playing inside a Blue Bar.
Doubt it. It looks like he's completely unknown.
And there's a soft wall right next to him. As the opening pick goes to Foxay, his grenades have been excellent. He finds thinking nade. Foxay another, this time on to Fultz. Canadian takes down Vertical and immediately on to Slash. He'll equalize and get the hell out of Dodge as he heads through office.
Could you imagine?
That is a big blow to OXG.
Could you imagine if they had droned out Canadian on the Blue Bar? What a different round this might be. And that's it. Round over. No chance for Foxay as he will be swept up quite easily by Canadian, who undoubtedly is the hero to that round.
That was major negligence on behalf of OXG.
The Clutch King Bosco closes out this week's 6-pack. When his team gets completely wiped, Bosco ends up in an ugly 1v2. But I think you know how this one ends.
Now it's just Bosco. He has to get 2 or deny the plant. It's going to be close. Reload canceling. He has to go for a second try. He can deny it, but he has to win the first gunfight. He gets it. Close on the second. It's a down. Bosco with the big clutch. Space Station take it, and that's going to be match point Space Station Gaming.
The second huge clutch from Bosco over these 2 maps. Absolutely incredible play from him.
That's all for this week's 6-pack. Let's see if SSG's got some fuel left in the tank for this week's mini major.
The North American Mini Major is finally here, and it is going to be an absolute barn burner. Space Station Gaming, TSM, Oxygen, and Dark Zero are all looking for their share of $250,000 after a fierce Stage 1 of the US Division. Well, let's take a look at the statistical standouts for each team, and we'll start off with SSG. After finishing second Oxygen in the initial group stage, Space Station blasted off into the winners group to snag first overall. Unsurprisingly, Rampy was a big factor in the team's success this stage. The number 2 player in the world last year sits at a 1.18 rating across 11 maps. Rampy also leads Space Station in kill-death ratio, entry frags, and is 3rd in the US for kills per round. His teammates are no slouches either. Bosco is close behind on the stat sheet with a 1.16 rating and is tied for first in North America with a 73% cost. To boot, Bosco's pulled off a league-leading 7 clutches this stage, 5 more than any of his teammates. SSG will face off against Dark Zero in the major semifinals, and it was DZ who came up big with wins over Mirage and the Sonics to punch their ticket to the August mini major. Usual standout Hyper has been the team's best player this season. Hyper leads the league with a monster 1.33 rating, a plus 30 in kills and deaths, and has averaged nearly a kill per round this stage. While the rest of DZ hasn't looked bad, everyone will need to step things up to beat SSG. Hyper was the only Dark Zero player with a rating above 0.95 in the first series against Space Station, so they're gonna need all hands on deck. The second semifinal will be a grudge match between number 2 TSM and number 3 Oxygen. TSM got the best of OXG last time around with a 2-1 victory in their initial slugfest. Bolo has been a beast for TSM this entire stage, racking up an ungodly plus 47 kill-to-death ratio. The fan favorite has earned a 0.92 kills per round. That's almost a kill per round for you keeping track at home, and a 1.2 rating across the 14 maps that TSM has played. However, it can't always be Team Bolo mid. Fresh-faced Chala came up big with a +7 on entry, 4 clutches, and a 72% KOST. Meanwhile, Oxygen, TSM's opponents, started off looking like the team to beat, but slid in the second half of the stage. Longtime Rainbow Six veteran Laxing has been a workhorse for OXG all stage long. Teams have been feeding Laxing all stage with an impressive +43 kill death total and a 1.19 rating so far. He's also hit a 73% cost rating and has pulled off 4 clutches. Watch for him and Bolo to go toe-to-toe and fragging during the OXG and TSM rematch. With 4 of America's finest teams facing off, anything can happen online. We'll have to see which team pads out their stat line as well as their wallets at the North American Mini Major.
So we just took a look at the top performers in NA, but now it's time to give some shout outs and love to the community and look at some top posts. So this first one comes from Ignation_. And of course, in the light of Mute Protocol, this person decided to compile all of the inspirations for, I guess, the robotic forms of each operator. So let's take a look. Bam! Of course, we got some easy to, predict Star Wars.
Some of them I actually got right away.
Did you? Like which one?
Most of them I did. I looked at that picture and I just thought, man, I don't know anything about robots. I might play like a bot.
Yeah. Okay. No.
There it is.
I
I was wondering when that was going to pop up. The Rocketeer Lion one is great. I like that one a lot. Of course, the Iron Giant. I think everybody's going to have a soft spot for that.
Oh. Yeah.
My favorite, obviously, is the Mute modeled after the microphone in the bottom.
Which is kind of ironic considering
Chef's kiss.
He's called Mute, but he's
a microphone is what you talk.
Guys, get it?
It's what you talk into, the opposite.
That's a
You got it. We got it.
I think my favorite might be the Power Rangers one, though I feel like the inspiration kind of looks more like my pan from the kitchen.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a grill of some kind, though I will say the jackal headgear is excellent. I don't know about competitive integrity from like a top level perspective, but like who cares? They're fun skins and more of these events.
They should change the sound in the game, wouldn't it? If everyone was robotic.
If we really think about it.
I don't know if they would change the sound.
We should, because things, like ping off your robotic body.
Yeah, I don't know about that one though. I don't know if they should do that.
All right, so that's why I'm not part of the Ubisoft, team creating the game.
That's why we're not.
Amongst other reasons, but let's not. Parker, it's time to wrap up. It's the end of the episode. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials at WatchRetake. We want to hear from you, especially this guy. He really thirsts for your comments. So be sure to comment, and we'll check you guys out next time.